I will definitely admit that one of the big things that I'm truly looking forward to seeing in Star Wars Episode 9 has all to do with the Knights of Ren and Kylo Ren in this movie by JJ. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing that a lot of people, including myself, really are very much interested in is, of course, the Knights of Ren and exactly what they are going to be capable of doing in this movie. We do know that they are not going to be a small piece of this film and will be a significant part of the overall plot of Episode 9. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which has all to do with a moment between Kylo Ren, his Knights of Ren, some stormtroopers, and even Resistance fighters. Specifically, a description of Kylo Ren leading all 6 Knights of Ren over a metallic bridge that leads to a large castle-like structure that is said to belong to the Resistance. In back of Kylo Ren and his knights are dozens of stormtroopers that are setting up a large weapon to break through the door to the castle. The next goes over Kylo and his knights attacking Resistance fighters, with Kylo and another knight wielding lightsabers deflecting blasts back at the Resistance fighters. It's described as a moment showing how deadly Kylo and his knights really are. Another gives a glimpse of a knight using shields, blocking blaster fire and walking closer to a Resistance fighter, before using the Force to throw him out of his way to the side. The last goes over Kylo and his knights surrounded by dead bodies and fire, with many First Order shuttles overhead, dropping off stormtroopers. So I really want to go over a couple of parts about this that are really making me very excited about not just Kylo Ren here, but the Knights of Ren, and there are a couple of things here that really do lead me to believe that the Knights are indeed Luke Skywalker's ex-Jedi students. Now, the mention of one of these Knights of Ren actually using the Force and throwing one of the Resistance fighters to the side tells us that that Knight of Ren in particular is indeed Force sensitive and is able to actually use the Force properly. Now, a lot of people have been wondering about the character of Mara, also known as MJ, in this movie. And a lot of people are really starting to believe that she is going to be a lead Knight of Ren and or just a Knight of Ren that once was affiliated with the character of Luke Skywalker, and that she will in fact be Force sensitive in this movie. Now, it has been described before in the past that at least some of the Knights of Ren in Episode 9 will be able to wield actual lightsabers in this film. Now, this sequence in particular, I really want to look into this castle structure because I believe that this also has something to do with the castle structure that we actually heard about that will be a major part of the first act of this movie. And now, Dominic Monaghan's character, we're not quite sure exactly who he's going to play, but it's also been said that he is a clan leader of some sorts, a pretty much a leader, if you will, of an underground world. So, a lot of people have been wondering about what's really happening with Dominic Monaghan's character. Now, I believe that he is indeed the clan leader of this castle structure that we are hearing about right now, where the Knights of Ren actually infiltrate it and attack and kill all of the Resistance fighters and take them out one by one, where the First Order comes in. You know, the backup of the First Order comes in, drops off more stormtroopers, and they begin their battle. Now, not only is this sounding more around the lines of like a Darth Vader moment that we saw in Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, where Vader is deflecting the blaster fire from other Resistance fighters, or should I say Rebellion fighters, but in this sequence in particular, it goes over how one of the Knights of Ren are also wielding a lightsaber by Kylo Ren's side, while he too is using his crossguard. Now, like I say, I think that the character of Mara, since we have been hearing about her many times now, one of the descriptions in the past actually went over how the character of Mara even has a lightsaber attached to her belt. And if you guys look at the older concept art of The Force Awakens, you will see that at least 2 of the Knights of Ren have actual lightsaber hilts, which honestly is telling us that they are indeed the ex-Jedi students of Luke Skywalker. You know, I think that one of the lines in Episode 8 is very important when Luke Skywalker says, you know, he slaughtered the Jedi students and he took the rest that survived. So, with that being said here, We're not quite sure if this is actually based within the third or the second act of the movie. Regardless, it seems as though that they will be actually revisiting that castle that will make its way into episode 9 in the first act that will appear also later in the movie. Now, in case you guys did not hear about this castle, it's also said to be the location of a black market, and as a way to offer the resistance tons of weapons, men, and women soldiers, as well as ships, starfighters, weapons, you name it. They're pretty much, an infantry, if you will. They have a lot of weapons available, a lot of starships, in order to create a new rebellion. But anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.